So Black Panther, I got to watch it yesterday when it came out, and y'all, it's literally everything and more. I'm not trying to exaggerate just because I'm a black person, but it really is like that good of a movie. Though, partially why I love it so much is because I'm a black person. So let's get into it. I'm going to try not to do some spoilers, but like, I don't know if it's gonna happen. You know what? Y'all just go. Spoiler alert, just in case. I love everything about the movie. There's hardly anything I can criticize about it. I have two criticisms about it, but we're gonna get into it in a minute. But first of all, the design of the whole movie, like, it was like perfect. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like from the outfits to like the artwork, like it was just so modern but so cultural at the same time. It was just like, life. It showed Africa in an updated version of it, like a modern Africa. Like most of the time when you see African clothing and stuff that comes from Africa, you always see the traditional wear. And there's more than that in Africa. And like, you know, they showed everything from like like the updated from the clothes, the way the art is, and it was just showing all technology. And of course, with having an all-black cast, it was like something that I can really relate to. Like, cause you barely see something like that, a superhero movie with all-black cast that's like actually relevant in the whole scheme of things. What else can I say about it? The acting was like perfect. Like, well, let's say almost perfect. Michael B. Jordan, he's a good actor, but he could have done better. He stood out in terms of the acting, and not necessarily in a good way, but it was just like, you just knew there was a difference. Like everybody's here and he's just like right here. He didn't do bad, but it was just like, it was a little off. Not like versus everybody else. And that was a part that was like kind of like, it worked, but it didn't work at the same time, given because him being Killmonger and like him not being from the country and raised in Wakanda, but being from Wakanda. And it was just like, it was a lot, it was a difference. Like it kind of worked because the storyline was surrounded by cultural differences. The cultural differences is basically like the main thing of the story, and how two people who are also the same people view the world and how to handle the world and its descendants and whatnot. Nobody was really wrong in the story. It was just a clash, and I relate to that because it's like because it's like me being Caribbean, and I'm a first generation Caribbean, and how there's a big difference between a first generation Caribbean and people who are actually from the country, and maybe I'll say maybe because some second generation kids that are Caribbean still like carry the culture and handle it the same way the people from the first and the originals do, but usually the second and third do not, and it's like a difference. There are so many layers to this movie, and if you're not a black person, you might not get it. But like, and I'm not trying to like exclude anybody, but I'm just saying like you might not see it because you don't live it. It showed so many different cultures from so many different tribes, and yet they're all working together, and it's still acting as one. And then you still have clashing inside that group of people. There was the people who lived in the mountains. It was like, yeah, we with you and everything. You one of us, but y'all over there still. Like, it's stuff like that that literally happens every day in real life. You have like people from Africa and the Caribbean, and like, you know, versus American-born black people, and like, we still we're still one people, but at the same time there's a difference. And that was something that they really highlighted in the movie subtly, and I loved it about it. I really did love it about it. I loved how they referenced real cultural aspects of Africa in the movie, like in terms of like tradition and how people look, and not only how people look, but like how to dance. The melanin in the whole movie, popping. Everybody, Lupita was fine, Michonne was fine, the Guyanese chick, she was fine, and I loved her energy. Everybody brought energy. Michael B. Jordan, you brought energy too. You just ain't. Bless their heart. The shade in the movie was hilarious. They highlighted manners and how black people have to deal with manners in this movie against other people, and it was like, I was here for it, and it was spot on. The jokes weren't too many. It wasn't too strong of jokes. You know what I mean? It wasn't too much. And then the hairstyles, like you know how whenever you see about black people hairstyle, you always see the afro, but they showed different hairstyles, and like they showed it so well, so well. I wanted to see like a good little mane, but then as I'm sitting here thinking about it, if you're a warrior, your hair ain't gonna be all out like that, because that's how you get grabbed. So I was like, okay, it makes sense. Another criticism that I can say about the movie was Black Panther's father. Like, I don't know this character's name. Like T'Challa, I know his name is T'Challa, but like his father, boy, the eye. Like when you watch the movie, just the eye is gonna catch you off guard, cause like I guess he has a glass eye in one, and he's talking, and then the eye is like the glass eye is up here, and the next thing you know is this way, and then next thing you know it's like down here, and while he's still looking forward, and it just messes with you in all his scenes. Like luckily he wasn't too much in the movie, but like you're just like, oh god, please let it stop, because this is weird. They can do CGI animals, but y'all mean to tell me y'all couldn't fix his eye? Because that joke was it was a little bit uncomfortable, but you know, it was still good. Another thing I loved about the movie was the feminism. Like, the women were not like, there were no damsels in distress in this movie. Like, not a single one. They were popping. Action scenes, especially Michonne, where she had that spear, she was killing it. I was like, ugh. My heart grab my gold chain. Yes, and this is how I walked up into the movie theater and had people shook. I'm not gonna lie. I passed by this one Asian family and they was staring at me as this shit blew in the wind as I walked by, and they was shook, and I was here for it. I was like, yes, yes, this is how I came. Overall, like the women were strong. Like they showed strong women. Nobody like needed help. Nobody was suffering and falling back. It was like an equality in terms of meninism and feminism. And it was perfect. Another thing I could say about Black Panther, it reminded me of Lion King in a weird way. Now I wouldn't say it was as dramatic as Lion King, but it was like a upscale. It was like if Marvel took Lion King and turned it into a Marvel movie. And y'all, I really recommend this movie. I really do. Like, I will give it a 10 out of 10, because like I don't like to sit there and give movie reviews and say, oh, this movie is popping just because it's popping, and like, you know, I'm not trying to be that person, but like honestly, like I could hardly find anything wrong with the movie. Like even the music was good. Like the album was good. The album that they dropped, I didn't listen to the album when it dropped because I was like, you know what, I didn't want no spoilers, but like the album was good. The score was good. How they wove it into the storyline was good. The technology and how they did the CGI, the rhinos, you could tell was a little bit fake, but that's about it. Everything else was like good. Like it was well done. Like it really was a well done piece, and I'm so grateful for it. It was a good package of everything in culture. Nothing was too much. Nothing was too much, and I appreciate it. It was a really good movie, and like everybody is represented so well. Every black person is represented so well. That's kind of awkward. There was a white guy in the movie, and his role wasn't too like he held a role, and he was still something in the movie, but it wasn't overpowering to the point where you know, like when you in a movie you're looking like really. Like, of course, like there was none of that, but like he still held a supporting character role, and he literally was a supporting character, and that's all he was. And when I mean like supporting character, I mean like, he wasn't like Black Panther's right hand man. He was like the supporting character to all the black people in the show, and that's how the black person usually is in all the other movies. It was a complete role reversal. When people say like, you know, representation is a thing for black people, it really is, because like you don't see stuff like this a lot. In a way we related to the movie, it was like important for us. And honestly, I get how people will say black people will like to over exaggerate it, but we're not over exaggerating. Like this was for the culture, and I was here for it. Like, and you may not understand it, but like you just want to deal with it. So that's my review of Black Panther. 10 out of 10, despite the small little, you know, the two small little criticisms I could find, but that was about it. I highly recommend you go watch it. I might go watch it again, but yeah. By the way, there are two credits, two after scene credits. Like they're gonna show you one after, you know, they do the little the artwork credits, and then there's one right after you've done the real credits. Just letting y'all know. Till next time, stay cultured, my friends.